Look in the chat. Am I VIP right now?
Hi, we're gonna get started soon. Yes, class is starting soon. Yeah. We'll start soon. I'm just waiting for everyone to join. So, do you guys want chat to be closed or
Open.
Closed, closed, closed.
Just keep it as is.
okay, I'll keep it as it is for now, but if it gets irritating, like if it gets annoying for some of you, please tell me and I'll close it.
Well, we can only talk to you or whatever.
Yeah, we still want to talk to you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions about last class? Or do you guys remember last class? So no questions? Okay. Yeah, how do I get? Okay, how do I?
Hi.
Why? I'm trying to figure. Is this? Oh, okay. Joe, who's? I don't remember his name honestly, so I'm not sure if it was the guy from last class.
I'm pretty sure it was Luke.
Yeah, I think it was Luke. Oh, it was John. Okay. All right. So let's get started then. So in today's class, we'll be going over. My primary goal is to go over Japan during the interwar years, and hopefully, if we have time, I'll go over Italy as well. So this class would be the last class before our Christmas break, all right? And I was planning to extend our classes till we finished covering the interwar years and the Second World War. So do you guys want that? I'm gonna check public chat. Is public chat closed?
I mean, I'm okay with it. We only have 2 weeks till Christmas, so yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay, all right. So what you guys plan on doing for Christmas? I'm wondering. Since because of COVID, I'm pretty sure you guys can't visit your relatives. Like, would
I
anyone
mean,
like
we
to
can
share?
if we break the rule. My family members are the only family members in Canada.
Interesting. So are you planning to visit them?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'll get started right now. I'll share my screen with the PowerPoint. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Right. Also, can you guys see this chat, like the open chat right here? if you guys have any
No, you
questions,
closed it. Just so that we can only type to you.
all right. All right, so if you guys have any questions, please use the mic. All right, it'd be good if I can interact with you guys like via voice chat instead of like having to read a chat. Sure. What question do you have? Hi. Okay. All right. So I'll just open the chat in case if no one, if in case if anyone can't like use their mic. So I'll open the chat just to, I'll check it once in a while if there's any questions. All right. So today's class, we will be going over Japan and the interwar years. Now, you guys seen those Japanese anime shows all the time, like those,
No.
oh, okay. Well,
it's
Japan,
easier one.
sorry. So Japan wasn't always the anime loving country we know today, all right? They were, they, they were more, I can say, professional, like they were more strict in their society. Like they, the Japanese believed that the emperor was a living god, so they worshipped him as a living god, and they they believe in this. Mostly the military believe in a belief called Shintoism that was a common belief in samurai. It means that when you're a soldier for the emperor, you must act accordingly under him. So you must act like a soldier. You cannot. And then there was this belief that like the Japanese thought that it is dishonorable to surrender in battle. They think it's the most honorable thing you can do is to die in battle, right? And the reason why they think this is because if you die in battle, they'll be sent to some place of honor. Now, honor in Japanese society is a really big thing, all right? If you lost your honor, you would be cast out of society and you would be virtually treated like an animal in Japanese society. All right. And now with this belief, the belief of surrendering is very dishonorable. They did not treat their captured prisoners of war. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so they didn't treat their prisoners of war with what accordance to the Geneva Convention. Now, the Geneva Convention means that like I'll just go over the prisoner of war part, right? So the prisoner of war part in the Geneva Convention was basically like you must treat prisoners well, like you must give them the amount of food they need, water. You cannot beat them, you cannot force them to go to work, you cannot kill them, all right? Now, the Japanese in this, they did not care about the Geneva Convention because the Geneva Convention, the Japanese didn't actually sign it. So whether they So whenever Chinese soldiers or allied soldiers surrendered to the Japanese army, they would be treated like literal cattle, right? They would be treated so harshly that it made the Nazis look nice. All right. So yeah. So now that you know about Japanese society, I'll be going over like what the Japanese thought of the Treaty of Versailles, what was life in Japan when the Great Depression hit, and what was the Japanese solution? Well, yeah, the Great Depression was super sad. It was basically an economic collapse of the world, right?
I know,
Everyone was
right?
poor. Yeah. So do you guys have any question about
Can you please turn on the chat? I waited like an hour. Like,
Oh,
I'm currently crying because there is no chat.
things that have
Does-
happened shall always stay that way since I made that.
I don't know how to Okay, if you guys want me to, who wants me to actually turn on the chat? Because I feel like last class
No,
was kind of
last-
disgusting.
Me.
No, don't.
Please turn on my chat. Please,
wor-
please. I
worked-
promise I will not
worked
disturb
so
you.
much- I
Thank
worked
you.
so
Thank
hard.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God,
You're so
I
nice. I
worked-
love you so much. You're the
I
best
worked
brother of my
so
entire life.
hard to turn
Like
off
no one
the
has been
chat.
ever as kind as you. I love you so much. You're like my idol. I'll make a fan page for you. Bye.
If everyone doesn't want the chat on, I'll turn it off because like I can't go with a minority.
What?
So
I was able to convince you last time to do it. Now it's on again. And that was
So-
hard. I had to message you like 50 times.
Turn it on.
all right, so I know.
No.
So I'm going with the majority. All right, because this is a democracy. We live in democracy. Therefore, I will only.
Democracy is not fair.
Democracy is fair. It goes by. Well, I
Well, for the
personally.
Everyone chose to turn on the chat and you listen
Losing
to one person. This is so rude. I'm crying so much right now. If you can't
like,
tell, I'm
What do you
crying.
mean by democracy? I want it on too. Did you not?
Yeah,
see
me
my
too.
girlfriend?
Okay.
No, y'all
Like
take
most
How do I
of
do-
us definitely want.
Wait. Okay. Please be quiet.
Please turn it on. I'm actually
Whoever
going to cry.
wants. Okay, I'll turn it. Okay, so whoever wants chat, please say yes, and whoever doesn't want public chat, say no. Or I'll count up the votes and see what our.
Yes, yes,
yes,
please.
yes, yes,
No,
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 yes,
no.
yes,
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes,
yes, yes, yes, yes, yes, yes, yes,
yes, yes.
No, no, no.
There.
Wait,
Oh,
okay.
yes,
Stop, please.
Okay.
All right, I'll count the votes. All right, if you keep on spamming, I'll close the chat entirely. All right. So let's. So 2, 3, 1. 2. Okay, please stop spamming. Okay, so lots of people want me to turn the public chat on, right? I'm sorry, but I have to
No.
turn it on. I just counted really quickly. All right, so I apologize for those who doesn't want it, but I'm pretty sure you guys can mute the chat if you want to. So that's a solution. So
How do you mute the chat?
I'm not sure.
Like, can we have
There
a
should be a
rule for
bell
this
in the
chat?
corner of the
Like-
chat, and you can just click the bell to mute it.
You know, some people they just spam in there, and like it's annoying.
Yeah, so
And like one person gets the chat taken away from everyone.
yeah, okay.
And
But
there's-
honestly, if we
told you.
don't have the chat on, then people are just gonna put under mics and say random stuff that we're not even
No.
supposed to say. Cause
Yeah,
that's what
so-
I might
Querying the
do.
Or-
chat.
I'm
So
desperate.
the only time you guys turn on your mics, like I highly encourage this, but if to turn on your mics is for something to say something about your opinion or to answer some questions I'm asking, all right? Because like I like social studies, like having class discussions, like I like it when you guys are like debating on historical subjects. And I really hope you guys can develop these skills in the future, all right? So like debating among yourselves, like was the Japanese justified in invading China? Was the Japanese awful like all media portrays them?
Someone said a swear in the chat.
Please don't say swears in chat.
Again,
There are
twice.
5th and 6th and 1st graders in this chat, all right? If you swear, that is not tolerated, and I'll probably. Yes. Okay, good. Now that you know, please don't swear, all right?
Actually, I think I might know why they're swearing because some people say that they don't want the chat on and keep on saying it, and some other people saying that they shouldn't deal with it for democracy.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the certain person that was swearing is one person that wanted the chat on.
No, like this is a girl named Angeline. She kind of like did that, but if if she actually wanted chat off,
He's spamming
then
the
like,
chat.
that's not funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So try and limit your chat, please, because like you don't bother anyone, right? Vivian is telling me to like quickly go through the social studies, please, and I wasted enough time. All right, so please. Please, all right. So don't spam, all right. It's very distracting to other people. All right. I'm gonna get started right now, all right. I'm gonna look at the chat less because like it's probably not gonna be on topic. So firstly, okay, you guys know World War One. Like you might think that World War One was only a European war. All right. So you might be thinking, why was Japan at the Paris Peace Conference? They're all the way in Asia. Well, World War One is not called a world war for no reason. All right. It was a global conflict. Japan declared war on Germany in 1914, and they took Germany's colonies in Asia. All right. It was a global war, and Japan was a part of it. So they had the right to send a delegate into the Paris Peace Conference. All right. Now, in very short terms, the peace conference did not go well for Japan. Okay. Firstly, they wanted some provinces from China because they wanted to expand more and create an empire to be seen as equal to the Western powers. All right. That's why they wanted to create an empire, right? They wanted to create a empire because they wanted the resources and they wanted to be treated as equals by the European powers. See, they looked up to the European powers, especially Great Britain, right? They looked at Britain as a like far beyond admiration, it's idolization, all right? The Japanese wanted to be equal to Great Britain, right? So they wanted this big empire because Britain had a big empire. So they thought that by having a big empire, they would get the respect they want from Britain, Russia, America, and France. They wanted that respect, all right? Now, they already gained that respect from the Germans, okay? The Germans respected the Japanese because during the battle of a German concession in China, all right? The Germans obviously lost because Britain had colonies in Asia, so they could just send troops, and also mainly because of Japan, all right? So the Germans in Asia had limited men and resources to fight against the Allies, all right? So when the Germans were defeated by the joint Japanese and British armies, all right, when the Japanese entered the city, the German prisoners of war cheered them on. They clapped to them. They actually respected them. They like cheered them on. However, when the British column entered the city, they literally just turned their backs and just crossed their arms. All right. So that tells you what would happen in the future between German and Japanese relations. Okay. Now, during the Paris Peace Conference, like I said, they wanted more land from China. However, the problem was China also declared war on Germany, and they were also part of the war, okay? Now, the Chinese had a very limited role in the war, but they still declared war on Germany. Therefore, they also had the right to go to the Paris Peace Conference. Now, now Japan, like imagine you're China, okay, in a Paris Peace Conference to discuss like what you want, okay? And then this other guy, how'd you do that? Okay, and this other delegate in the conference is saying, hey, I want China's land, but you're China, you're in peace conference, and you want to be in the peace conference to gain something from it. But instead, this other power is saying, yo, I want your provinces, give them to me. And they're like, no, we're both fighting the war. We're both winners. Why do I have to give you something? We're not even at war. And yes, please stop drawing stuff. This is very distracting. How do I erase this?
I'm sorry, I didn't know if it would show on your screen.
How do I erase this?
I'm pretty sure there's a delete all button for the owner.
Mainly all the spam literally comes from the kids who want the chat to stop. And it's getting annoying. Because
Yeah.
we're using the chat.
Nathan,
We're using
the
the
mute
chat.
police won't shut
Oh my
up.
god.
Tell Nathan the mute police to shut up.
Yes, shut
Him
up.
spamming
Okay.
us
Oh
for
my
us to be
God.
quiet will not do anything good.
Okay, please.
Okay.
Okay,
Just-
can we please stay on
Just get rid
topic?
of the chat.
Yeah,
All right,
guys.
so-
Just oopsie, sorry.
It's
I
okay.
can't. Okay, sorry. Oopsie.
I have no choice, I'm sorry, but they are very distracting. All right, they've been sending messages that are not on topic, so I'm gonna have to close the chat. All right, if you guys have any questions, you can only chat with me, all right? You don't need to distract everyone else.
Whoever is blank on the board.
Yeah, please stop.
Anyways, hi guys.
Someone just wrote, open the chat on the first page.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't
I'm
see
gonna
it.
have to turn on. No, okay, I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry to those who wanted the public chat on, but it's very distracting to others and I don't want them to.
Well, it wasn't our fault. It's the people who wanted to close the chat and they kept spamming to close the chat.
Yeah, we're just talking
Exactly.
amongst us ourselves, and they were just like
Pretty sure
spamming the
it
main
was
chat.
a
Close the
person,
chat. Close the
not
chat. Stop
people.
spamming. Stop spamming.
Yeah, that's true.
They told us to
Please
be
don't
quiet, so we were quiet, and then after then they were like,
Yeah,
You
there's
guys
literally
were-
only
Yeah,
one.
they're such
swearing.
hypocrites. Literally, they need to like calm down. Like,
Can we just get on with the class? This is wasting.
Yeah,
a lot of
please,
time.
let's
yeah,
get
everyone
focused
just
here.
stop. Okay.
Yeah, please stop. If you guys have any questions, please please open your mics or ask them. How do you? No, I'm not gonna turn on the chat because like we are wasting time, all right? And I want to go over Italy as well. All right. So Japan's response to the Treaty of Versailles, like they wanted to be seen as equal. So they wanted some land from China, but the United States thinking that if they do give land from China, China will distrust the Western powers. All right. So the Americans did not want to give any land from China to Japan, all right, with a good reason, okay? Like both parties are in the peace conference, all right, and if the United States goes on one side, the other party that weren't satisfied will be a future enemy in a future war, okay? So the United States did not want that, all right? So they didn't give the land to Japan, all right? And Japan wasn't, so Japan wanted to be seen as equals to Western powers, right? And in the US, right, they were mostly,
I have a question. I have a
yes,
question, please. Why are you so annoying?
sorry?
I'm sorry, but I can't repeat it. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have a question anymore. I'm sorry.
someone wrote
Bye.
the turn on the chat button on the very bottom. There, I explained it for you. Hi.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore it because it's at the bottom of the page. So
Can we just completely get rid of the chat? I can literally see all the messages on your screen.
oh, you can? Okay, I'm
No,
just
we
gonna close
can't.
this.
I
No, you
literally-
can't. Stop
Yeah,
being
there's a
so,
Y
like,
right there.
Okay,
Stop
okay,
being such a
please-
genius cat. Whoever's
I
saying
see
that.
Please,
now.
I'm
please
John. No
be
cat,
quiet,
really.
okay? I'm trying to get focused here, all right? We've wasted
Yeah,
enough.
guys.
So Japan was also concerned with the segregation laws in the United States, all right? So there were Japanese immigrants in the United States, all right? So there was Japanese people living in the United States. And they didn't have the same rights as the
Someone
white.
wrote on the screen again.
So they didn't have the same rights.
Disable annotation.
How do I disable that?
Yeah, just go to settings and disable annotation.
Okay, please stop. All right, we
Who the
wasted
hell
enough time. All right, I'm still trying to figure out this Zoom thing. All right, I'm gonna have someone to teach me. All right, so Japan, so the Japanese people in the United States did not have the same rights as they did as the white people, right? And Japan actually wanted these racial laws abolished in every country. All right, and obviously, Western powers, since they were led by white men, all right? These white men were incredibly racist, so obviously they did not agree with the abolishment of racial laws proposed by Japan, all right? So this practically angered the
Professor, I have a
Japanese.
question. I have another question.
Yes, what
How
question?
old are you?
I am
Well, that was a private question, but
No, I just
really,
need to know.
I'm
It's
16.
very
Yeah, he's a
important.
student teacher.
Really?
Yes, I am a student teacher.
Oh. Okay.
you're a student?
It's kind of obvious.
Yes.
Okay.
I just came here for social classes.
So Japan was super angry with the Paris Peace Conference because they didn't achieve anything, right? They didn't get the land they want. They didn't get the equality they very desired, all right? So Japan in the middle of the conference just left, all right? The Japanese delegation just left. Yeah, so the Japanese delegation just left the conference and didn't even come back, all right? So they were very dissatisfied with the Treaty of Versailles, which very heavily strained Western relations with Japan.
I have a question.
Yes, what questions do you
Are
have?
you ever gonna move on from this line?
Can you repeat that?
Coral, repeat what you just said.
Yeah, please repeat what you just said. I didn't hear it.
I want to see if one of the chat
I didn't
members saying.
Sorry?
I just want to see what one of the chat spammers and banners actually are saying.
They're
How can
saying,
other people spam?
Oh
I
my
can't.
god. There is so much going on right now. I cannot focus this class. Whoever said that, I want to see whoever is a chat spamming. Shut up, okay? Just let him speak and let her
Yes,
speak
please,
and finish what she
please.
needs to say,
Don't
okay?
did it
Stop being
again.
such an attention seeker and stop seeking for
Don't
attention.
annotate
Okay,
it
just shut up
again.
and let her do it, okay? That's on job reason, no
Please
cap girl. Bye.
Stop.
Everyone just be quiet, like not
Yeah, please,
unmute their
everyone
mics.
be
Just
quiet.
just put up your hand.
Yes, please, everyone be quiet, okay? Did it get darker? Okay, so why is it getting darker?
Okay, how can
Nobody knows logic.
other people just edit your computer?
Because like on the
It's
slide
because it's
thing, you
called
shared it with
annotation.
everyone.
Oh my god, I know what it is. It's that
And there's, like,
it's that what is it?
annotations.
Anonymous animals. Those things are hackers. I've had them
No,
on my
someone
What the
document.
fuck is an anonymous animal?
annotated and made this giant screen with the highlight.
Please stop.
Yes, please
Someone
stop.
said a swear. Someone said a swear.
Okay, swearing is not tolerated in this class. I'm gonna give you a warning, and if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to kick you out. All right? Whoever
Who
swore.
did? Wait, where was it? I can't see anything.
Wait, was the chat on? Who said the swear? Did you like someone like message it to you?
No,
someone
I
said it.
heard them. I heard them. They were on YouTube.
Okay.
Who?
Okay,
Ah.
let's please get.
It's
Let's please
higher.
focus.
I
Let's please focus.
swear. It was not me, okay?
Let's please focus, all right? Because
All
right
these
now, I don't think I can go over. All right,
accusations.
please, let's focus, all right? I don't think I can go over Italy now, all right? Now that we're spending so much time, all right? So the impacts of when the Great Depression, when the Great Depression hit Japan, okay? Japan was heavily impacted, all right? Because Japan had a massive and growing population because they were a very small island, and also it should also be noted that Japan was isolated for like 200 years, all right? And there was no war within the country, all right? So isolation means no one can come in or out. So the population in Japan grew very rapidly, right? And when United States told them that you're going to trade with us and you're going to like it, they did actually trade, and we'll skip a few years. And when the Great Depression hit Japan, Japan was a small island. All right, have you guys seen Japan, like the map of Japan? Like you know it's a very small island, all right, and has large mountains in the region. All right. So
Didn't Japan
Had-
try to overpower Korea and China before?
Okay, in the case of Korea, they did not try to overpower Korea. They did overpower Korea, okay? They conquered Korea from China. So Korea at that time was theirs, right? It belonged to them. Do you understand? China, they had plans to actually overpower China, all right? And they actually almost succeeded, not until the atomic bombs were dropped, okay?
Ah, yes.
I have a question.
Yes, what questions do you have?
No hate, but when are we gonna learn why Japan went through the Great Depression in real life? Like, when are we gonna use this?
Sorry?
Why are we gonna use this? Why are we learning about this? Like, no,
So
I'm
you
not
can-
trying to be mean.
To be a teacher, of course.
For you to understand the
To make it
our
easier
history.
to
Also,
learn other things.
also
For
this is
when
for
we
you
grow
to-
up into the next grade.
Okay, but why do I need to know this? Like, why do I need to know why depression is?
Because you might need to have it for a test in the future, you know.
learn from it.
When would I use
Teaching
it for a
teachers
test?
that are teaching us in
Okay.
the future.
To answer
I'm
your
just trying
question
to
on why we need
ask
to
why
learn
we're
this.
here
to learn.
Okay, okay.
from
Please be quiet. Please be quiet. All right. To answer your question, why we need to learn this, all right, this is very serious now. We learned this because like so many people are uneducated right now, okay? And I think like this morning, a friend of mine sent me a post that had Annie Frank's, like, you know, a Jewish Holocaust victim, okay? A statue of her vandalized with the Nazi swastika, all right? And she also sent me a screenshot saying, what did the swastika do? How did they do it? That's to tell it's this the reason why you're learning this is to educate you, all right? So you don't end up offending someone by accident, okay? So like the people that vandalized a Holocaust memorial with a Nazi swastika were not educated to understand what the Nazis had done to the Jewish people, all right? So you guys need to know this to understand like why we shouldn't be like, oh, Hitler's so great. Like I've seen so many people who are like doing that right now, right? I know a few people personally who thinks that the Soviet Union is the greatest ever. or
I have
thinks
another
everyone's-
question.
Yeah.
What is the Great Depression? Was like everyone sad, or
The Great Depression, okay. The reason why you're learning about the Great Depression is to understand why Japan and Germany and Italy implemented expansionist policies that led to World War II, all right? So basically, you're kind of correct. The Great Depression, you don't need to know much about it, but you need to know that the Great Depression was a very big economic collapse, like a crisis, all right? That essentially caused the Second World War. So it was like,
Teacher, I have a question. Where is Japan?
yes. Sorry?
Where is Japan?
Okay, so I don't have a map on me right now, but you know where China is, right?
Yes.
Of course, it's
Yes.
has the most people in it.
All right, so you know where China is, right?
One just annotated again.
where is China? I don't know where Japan and China is.
Wait, actually, that's a good idea.
Do you know
I
where
will
Europe
draw-
is? Do you know where Africa is? Do you know the other side of the world is?
Okay. So to
Do you
make
know
you
where
understand
Mercury is?
where Japan is, I'll draw China for you.
Nope.
No, I don't know what the other side of the world is. I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm gonna try drawing
You
China as
know
best I
where
can.
a planet is?
Please excuse my drawing skills. I'm not that.
You're better than me
China
at
kind of
least.
looks like a
You're
China kind
better
of
than
looks like
all
a
of
chicken,
here.
to be honest.
It reminds me of a mitten picking up
So,
something that's
So if you
bleeding.
look at a map,
Okay, I might annotate a little bit.
so you might see
Okay, I'll
China.
redraw it for
If you have a map on you, look for something that looks like this.
I don't see anything. I
That
only
looks
see
like a heart of a heart of
Not
a
a rail.
real life person.
So
That
you,
looks like,
okay.
like the dumb
person
part of
who's-
the
you
a
can see
mitten.
your
Can I erase the other things? Come on, how do I erase them?
Okay, so please listen, all right? A person is asking where Japan is, all right? I'm trying to answer them. So this is China, all right? So if you pull up a map, you're gonna see something that looks like this.
Is
That's
that a
China.
whale?
No, it's not a whale. China actually looks like a chicken to some people. So Japan is this little island that's right beside it. It looks like a banana.
No, it looks like more of a whale's heart.
How do you know what that
How do
looks
you know
like?
what a whale's heart looks like?
Because I watched a video and I like to watch history
Why
stuff.
would you
But
watch a video
everyone
on a
needs
whale's
that.
heart? That's so
Because it's called
weird.
something,
What are you
because it's something called
annotating?
depressing happiness.
Ask questions.
Oh. I'm
Okay,
just
okay,
asking
let's
questions.
please
Why are
get
you getting
focused here.
mad?
Let's please get focused,
know.
okay?
Okay,
So
I'm
that's
sorry.
Japan.
Apologies.
This is Japan, right? It looks like a banana, all right, in my opinion. It looks like a banana. So if you go to Asia, you guys know where Asia is, right?
Gosh,
Pretty much, I
that
guess.
is
At least most of us do.
madness.
Actually, no, I just remembered I do have a map on this slide. Hang on.
Remove
Can't you
that
just search a
mess.
Google, what's that thing called? I think Google Maps. If you just search up Google Maps, they'll give you an automatic search of Google Maps.
People stop annotating.
Annotate?
Yeah, please
What
stop
is that?
annotating. It's very disturbing.
Yeah, but like, can you like somehow like turn it off?
I'm gonna ask a friend of mine to give me a lesson on how Google Meet works.
All right.
So Japan's right here. That answered your question. Japan's right here. Do you see my mouse? Does anyone see my mouse? Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, Destiny has a
Oh
label.
yeah, it kind of looks like a shard of like a piece of glass maybe you'd find.
Yeah, so that's
It
Japan.
looks like
So you see how
Never mind.
tiny it is, all right? So you understand
that's what she
why-
said.
Oh, damn. Okay. So you understand why these people, like having a massive population is a problem, all right? Like there's barely any agricultural land in Japan, so they couldn't grow as much wheat to make bread to feed the population. Please stop annotating.
You do, the person who is annotating, you do know we can see you, right? We can see your name.
Yes, I know.
What's
CC,
annotating?
yeah, CC,
Like
please
the-
stop
Tell you,
annotating.
drawing
It's very
on the-
tell
disturbing.
them because they're just.
How do I
gonna do it.
imitate?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you because you're just gonna end up doing it or something.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
can't. Well, even if you did tell me, then I couldn't have done it because I can't find a link to this. And if I did, then I wouldn't even know how to get the little whatever it's called.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes, what questions you have?
What should I call you? Should I just call you Professor? Or should I
Yeah,
call you?
just call me whatever you
Just
want.
call him
Teacher,
teacher, not the
professor.
big deal.
Student teacher.
Big
Yeah, just-
papa.
Student
You can call me
oh.
anything. Okay, so
Dad.
okay, let's please get focused here, all right? I'm running out of time. Japan had a massive growing population.
Professor,
Yes,
Can you
I
stop?
have another question. How much
what
time do we
question?
have left of class?
22 minutes. I was planning to
Oh.
go over Italy, but I guess I have to go over it next class.
Oh, we should go over this class then and go over
I
this
can't.
next class.
Okay, if I
I think
go,
as a
okay,
punishment to some people, we should probably extend the class or something.
I
if we
can't go over
could.
Italy because you guys need to know about Japan. Yes,
Okay,
I'm not extending the actual class. Like it's still a 1 hour time window. All right, I'm just extending like the number of classes we have in the future.
okay.
People are still annotating. Whoever is.
Fine.
Yeah, please stop annotating. I'm gonna.
What is annotating?
It's
I'm not
basically just
telling you.
drawing this.
Oh, I like to annotate.
Okay, hi.
You should
could you-
go to settings and then turn off annotation.
Please actually.
You can
Turn off
make me
annotation.
turn
Go
off
to
annotating. This
security
is
and
annoying.
go to
Arguments of online
security and then
class.
Okay,
turn
okay,
off
let's get focused here.
annotation.
Let's get
Okay,
focused
one
here.
person at a time.
Okay,
Don't unmute your mic unless you have a question, guys.
Let's-
and I
let's
have
get
lots of
focused here, all right?
questions.
next class I will have everything turned off, all right? Because I am a boomer in technology, or I don't know how any technology works, so I can't waste any time trying to figure out how to close this. All right. So yeah, you understand like
Go
why
to
having a big
security and then
population.
press like.
You're one of the people who's annotating.
I don't hate this class, all right? Like I understand you guys. I understand children.
Professor,
Yes.
I heard there's this Japanese word called senpai. What does that mean?
We might have to get some extra people to come in this thing to force.
Okay,
it
okay, okay.
Wall.
Senpai
You
means
have a
it's something.
therapist?
Okay, senpai means it's something you call someone who's older than you. Okay, so
Sorry.
you can call your
Okay,
mother.
then you're my senpai. Hi,
Okay.
senpai.
All right. So
Bye,
you guys can
I'm
tell
gonna
by
unmute now.
a small island, like having a big population is a problem, right? Because they can't produce the food they need to feed the massive population, okay? So, which is why before the Great Depression, Japan heavily,
Senpai.
please, okay, so heavily
Everybody
relied
just stay muted.
on silk exports to pay for food, all right? Now, you know what silk is. It's a very valuable resource to make clothes with, all right? It's made from caterpillars and spiders. So,
Oh my god, the caterpillars, isn't that like animal abuse?
caterpillar farm.
Can we just get focused here?
Yeah, please get
Wait,
focused here.
how come it's made of caterpillars and
No, it's like made out of their like silk. Not
Yeah,
Can we
like
just get on my classes?
the string they
Oh,
make.
caterpillars make silk?
Sure, it's called
Yeah, they do.
silkworm.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Can we just
silkworm.
get
I'm just
focused
coming
here?
up with
We
No, what's a
change the
silkworm?
coordinates,
so we
right?
can
We
get
just
off
get
topic.
focused.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys,
Focus.
you guys don't need to know any much more about silk, but what I can say is Japan heavily relied on their silk exports to pay for the food they need. All right.
Wait, so they use like silk to make like I don't know,
Like clothes.
for as money or something?
No, they
Like,
didn't.
Whoa.
Silk.
Did they like trade it or something?
Yes, they traded it with other powers. Okay. So
What
silk is
powers?
like the United States, Britain, even China.
So they just put a truckload of
Wait, didn't the
cloth,
silk
and they just
originate-
wanted like the
China?
biggest country in the world just to have for a truckload of cloth.
Professor,
Yes.
I have a question.
What question do you have?
When I go shopping and I buy something, it always
Nobody
says made
needs
from
to know.
China.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
okay,
China's
nobody
Why
needs
does
to
everything
know-
say it's from
because
China?
China's production, like whatever taxes or something, are
Is
cheap.
China like the boss
Oh yeah,
of the
I
entire
think like
world?
no, I feel like that. No, I think that
Almost
China makes a lot of stuff, like a
China,
lot of like felt
produces
stuff.
This is just the one with the most
cotton balls.
Okay,
population.
Can we just
please,
get back
please,
on
let's
Let
get
only
focused
one
here.
person speak.
topic?
Stop.
Okay, please, let's get focused here. All right. So you don't need to know much about silk, right? Silk is basically irrelevant. It's what you use to make clothes. All right. That's basically what silk is. Right. So when the silk prices collapsed, meaning that no one wants to buy silk, Japan wasn't able to afford the food it needs to feed its massive and growing population. Right. So because of this, the population began to starve, all right? And because of this, people want change, right? They began to riot, they want to change, they want the food they need to feed their children, to feed themselves, all right? Which is why communist parties everywhere started to revolt, right?
What is a communist?
A communist is
I think it's the
basically,
communist is a Chinese party or something.
no, China is not,
Oh,
okay,
it's
China
like,
is
I think
called,
it's like
Okay, you guys
Oh.
don't
like the government
class.
rules the land or something.
Oh
Yeah,
no, my
the
mom
the
told me some
government-
of it, so that's why I thought I knew, but it's about
Can we all
something
just
else.
listen in class? This is why you keep on asking random questions because you weren't listening.
Yeah, I did come here first. So
I think it's better to open the chat so everybody just says things
When
in
you
this.
open the chat, they do random things and spam random things. It's at least better than unmuting their mics and blurting out random things.
Are you sure?
Because some of them are literally swearing.
Your
like,
name is
"Oh,
literally the Mew Police.
But then I can't really focus on class because it's just spamming.
That's the
Ethan, your name is literally the Mew
Maybe
Police.
everyone
just
should
be
just.
quiet.
Just focus.
everyone, please be
It's
quiet.
really not that hard to just mute yourself.
All right, please be quiet. All right, I'll figure everything out
It's
next
been
class. All right.
It's
I'll, fi-
been
I'll figure. Okay, I'll figure out how this class
45
will go.
minutes and we haven't gone through the second page yet.
Yeah, please. Oh my God. Okay, so the population began to starve, right? And Japan wants a solution. Okay. So as the Japanese people were starving, they were hungry, right? They want change, all right? The threat in the rise of communism, the civilian governments. So there was two governments, the civilian government and the military government, all right? The military government was just handling like what the military did.
Professor,
Yes.
Japanese invent silk?
What did you say? I couldn't hear you. Whoever's making that sound, please stop.
Is
it, girl?
Everybody, it's just easy. Just press the mute and keep it like that.
Okay, so what was
Can
your
you
question again?
explain that again?
The Japanese invent silk.
No, the Japanese didn't invent silk, all right? Silk was invented a very long time ago, right? Silk was invented in China, believe it or not. All right?
Didn't you say silk were made from caterpillars?
Please stop going off topic.
Please, we don't need to know more about silk, all right?
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue now.
Can
All right,
we just
so-
focus on class?
Yeah, please focus on
Please
class.
continue
All
and
right.
don't stop.
So, the civilian government ineffective response to the economic slump, all right, caused the people to look for the emperor because they thought the emperor was a god, right? They think he knows everything, and believe it or not, they looked to the military for guidance, all right? They wanted.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the emperor thing, do they like, is it kind of like a king or something, or is it just like the wisest, like the oldest person who's
No, I'm
alive,
pretty
so
sure
they become the
Emperor is a
wisest?
king.
It's a king.
Empire is a
All right.
group
The emperor
of
is similar to a
organization-
king.
colony.
The
Like-
emperor is similar to.
Mom,
a
I'm on
king.
mute.
The teacher answer questions.
Can you
So
ask
the
questions at the
emperor
end of the class?
was similar to a king. All right, you're right. All right, the emperor is similar to. Cece, you raised your hand.
I have a question. I want what emperor at that time? Like, what's name is called? Like the
Oh, the emperor's name.
yeah.
You want to know the emperor's name?
Yeah.
Okay, his name was Emperor Hirohito.
Right,
that's weird.
When did this when did
Please.
that happen?
Sounds like an anime.
Okay, Kevin Wang.
guys. I'll be back in a minute. My dog just puked on the carpet. Okay, my dog just puked on the carpet. I'll be right back. He's puking.
Can everybody?
Mom, he's puking on the carpet.
Back to the lesson.
We don't need to know your cat's puking in the.
I have a
carpet.
question.
I just leave.
Shut up.
Let Kevin Wang go first. What was your question, Kevin?
My question is, doesn't everyone just fear the emperor because he
Oh
can
no,
do
they didn't
anything?
fear him. They worship him. That's the difference, all right?
All right.
The emperor didn't do anything
Why
that
do you
made
worship-
people fear
I
them.
have a question.
Can you stop?
Yes, what was your question?
Are emperors mean?
The emperor? Okay, in this
Some are.
case, okay, so the thing was, we don't know what the emperor's actually mean or not, okay? Because like, people thought that the emperor, like when the war ended, the emperor was a war criminal, right? He was the one that ordered the attack on Pearl Harbor and Japan and China, not Japan, China, all right? However, we're not sure, all right? We don't know for sure because when Japan surrendered, Japan wasn't getting invaded, okay? So the Japanese had tons of time burning documents that connected to the emperor. So we're not sure for certain if the emperor ordered the attack on Pearl Harbor or he ordered the China's invasion. Hi, you have a question?
I have a question. What time period is this? Because you mentioned Pearl Harbor, and I know that was like not that long ago, like in the early 1900s. So like, what time is this currently?
Okay, so currently it's 1930. It's 1930. 30s. It's the 1930s.
I also have a question.
Let
I've been
original
waiting to
one go
ask.
first.
I've been waiting to ask this for 15 minutes.
Okay, well, what's your question then?
When do they make every single person go to war or something, or just like specific people?
Yes, they had a conscription policy. A conscription policy means if you're over the age of 18 or between the age of 18 and 24, you were given a letter saying you have to go to war, you go, otherwise you die.
But how about those parents and stuff? Like,
The
do
parents,
they do it? Yeah.
like how they feel, or did they go?
Like, do they have to go as well, even if they're like old or
No,
something?
no, they don't have to go. All
But
right,
like,
so
as soon as like when like that rule started, then kids who would grow up in between 18 to 24, they would have to be forced to go.
yeah, they will
Like
have to be
every
forced to go.
single one of them, because then the population won't come back anymore.
This is an example of imperialism, kind of.
Can I
Yes.
just
Excuse me,
leave?
I'm just asking a question.
Yes, so everyone between the ages of 18 and 24 were forced to go to war.
But like, How
No, no,
are
no.
they
Actually,
supposed
no, no,
to
no.
continue
No, no, no. Okay.
population?
I'm actually making you very confused. They didn't go to war. They have to serve in the military. All right. I'm sorry for making that very confusing.
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah, I
didn't
get
go
it
to
now.
war. They served in the military. I'm sorry for confusing you. All right. I'm sorry.
But like, how did they find out who's gonna go to war and who's not?
So what do you mean?
Like, do they have like an age certificate to go to war, or like do they just pick random people to go to war?
They don't pick random people, right?
I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Like they didn't have technology that to tell like, yo, this guy's the age of 18, send him to war. They didn't have the technology to do that. So they use an old style. So like the Japanese military had officers had like papers that suggest the date of this specific person, the date of birth. If he reaches the age of 18, they will send him a letter saying that he has to serve in the military.
Oh.
Yes.
So
Original one, you have a question? Sorry, this person was asking this question for like 10 minutes already and I didn't answer. So original one, what's your question? Please
Never
open your
mind. Never mind.
What about Annika? Do you have a question?
So like do the like fathers have to go to war? Like for example, if they just sent a letter to like some guy's father, would he have to go to war then?
Yes. All right. So let's just say your father was between the age of 18 and 24. If he gets the letter, he would have to serve in the military.
Then what if he's hurt?
Like, what do you mean? Was he hurt before he got the notice?
Like what if
Like maybe he has disabilities.
Yeah.
Oh, disabilities. Yeah. If he had some disabilities, such as a broken leg or he can't walk, he wouldn't be required to go to war. All right. So
Okay.
what if you didn't want to go and when they tried to force you to go?
okay, if you didn't want to go, okay, in Japan society, if you didn't want to go to war, go serve in the military, you die.
Dun, dun, dun. What if you like run away? Will they like hunt you or something? Just let you go?
So the main reason
They would
why
hunt
people,
you. They will hunt you.
everyone that went to World War One, went to
Okay, please. Right, please, you have a question?
Like
You've been
just
raising-
because you don't want to go?
Yeah. So like those who don't want to go serve in the
Oops,
military.
sorry, my mic was off.
Die. All right. So right, please, you have a question?
Do they go to war at the age of 18 and come back at the age of 24, or stay
No. So when they serve in the military, they were given like, so if you're age of 18 and you get conscripted, right? You're required to serve in the military for 3 years. Okay. After that, you could go home. So like there's a time limit. You have to serve in the military. So there's a certain amount of time you have to be in the military. All right. So if you manage to survive for 3 years, you can go home. All right. Unless if the situation's desperate, then you have to go to war throughout. Annika, you have a question?
How did they pick their soldiers?
Pick. They
By
grab it out.
to 24.
Explain
Yeah, 18 to 24. That's how they grab their soldiers.
Yeah, but
I
like
thought you said that they were supposed to serve in the military.
Yeah,
yeah,
they do.
so like
They do serve in the military.
so like all of them are supposed to like be soldiers.
That depends, because like if you're at the age of 18. Oh, also it should be noted that this only applied to men. All right, boys have to go to war, not women. All right. So if these women were 18 to 24, they didn't have to serve. In fact, they can't serve in the military regardless. For boys between the ages of 18 and 24, they have to serve in the military. All right. So that to clear everything up, like not, and in terms of like everyone had to go, that depends, because like if for me example, I'm the age of 24, like I think I mentioned this before, if I had a disability like a broken leg or I can't walk, I can't go to war. Like if I physically cannot go to war, then I don't have to go to war. All right, Annika, you have a question?
Yeah. So do women serve as surgeons in like wars?
Yes, they do. They do, but they didn't have to join. They can volunteer, strictly volunteer.
I have a question again.
Yes.
Like, was it like the people who went to war like only supposed to be boys, and the nurses were only supposed to be girls?
What's happening?
Hi's
ever
playing
playing
random
I'm
music.
playing rap music.
Can I
Okay.
just leave?
Okay, so what was your question again? I blanked out.
Sorry. Do the nurses can like only be girls and like no
No,
males
no,
or
no, no,
anything?
no, absolutely not. So like,
So
men
only
can be nurses, but it's a rare sight to see, all right?
So
Because like the
only-
men, sorry,
so like only the men go to war, but like they have a choice if they want to be a nurse
yes, they do have a choice to be
or a
to be
doctor.
nurse.
I just leave.
Please don't leave. We have like a few minutes left in class.
4
Kevin, you
minutes.
have a question?
Can we get on the lesson? There's too many questions. We've been doing this for 10
I'm
minutes.
sorry.
Pretty
Yeah, I have a
obvious.
question.
Do anything.
So please write down your questions, all right, and I'll answer them next class, all right? When we've finally had the annotations disabled and like, yeah. Okay, so I'll get on with the lessons. Please hang on to your questions for next class, or yes. Okay, thank you. Very sorry, all right, I apologize. So response to the Great Depression, right? So Japan didn't have the land to conduct agriculture, all right, which is basically growing a bunch of crops to make food. So when the people got desperate and looked to the military for help, the military and including the emperor, like some sources say, all right, I'm not sure for certain, think that invading China, like China is really big, all right? It's very big, all right? Therefore, it has lots of land for agriculture, right? They thought that expanding to China will give them the food they need to live. And since China is a big country, by invading China, they can make room for Japanese people, meaning that like some of their people can actually move to Manchuria for like better quality of life, all right? So that was their response, an expansionist policy, all right? That's called an expansionist policy. It's basically just like invading another country, okay? Did you guys understand, or do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, what's your question?
Isn't there like a sea between Japan and China? How did they invade?
Okay, so your question is very excellent, all right?
I thought there were bridges.
They didn't have bridges. They had something called ships, boats. They just sent their troops through the boats. That's it.
Oh, I forgot about those. I thought it was like a short like river. Didn't think it was a whole ocean.
But the thing was, they had Korea at the time, so they could just invade from Korea. So they didn't have to use any boats. They just invaded from Korea.
Like did it just like go to Korea, invade that one, then just go
No,
straight to
they
China?
had Korea the whole time, all right? They had Korea since like 19.
Oh. Did Korea get back?
Sorry?
Did Korea get their country back?
Yes. Actually, not entirely. It's now between two countries, North and South Korea.
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah, hold on to your questions. Ask me next class because I need to go over this quickly.
Is there even a next class? Because like for writing, it was the last class.
Okay, stop.
And also,
Wait,
Hi's
I love that
listening
song.
to music.
Actually,
Listen to music
Well,
while you
someone
I know it.
So-
Like,
Especially you're not
okay.
playing it through the
Music.
I'll
mic.
answer your questions until 3:30 because like we're at the expansionist policy section, or I just introduced it. Next class we'll be going over the invasion of Manchuria, League of Nations response. I posted a few memes. Please stop playing music.
You can listen to it, just have your mic off.
Yeah. So there are some
When is
memes there.
next class?
After Christmas break, so you're probably gonna have to
And like what day?
so like next week
What
we don't have
day?
any class.
It's
Friday.
next week.
What was that cat?
It's a meme.
So this is last class before Christmas break. So if you
Oh,
guys,
so
okay,
this is the last one?
yeah, before Christmas break, all right? So you have Christmas break off.
So we don't have classes next week.
Yeah, we don't have classes.
What
until
about the week
Christmas break is
after
over.
that?
Not well, the week after that is Christmas break, all right? Enjoy your Christmas break. We don't have any
Wait,
classes
so like for the
weeks.
whole like next week for the whole weekend.
Please stop.
I don't like that song. Or
Okay, so Annika, you have a question before
like
I
the
let you
whole
guys go.
week thing. Like
Sorry?
no, when is like do we have it for the whole weekend that we get a day off like every single class or just this class?
Like the whole, what do you mean by whole weekend?
Like next week is the weekend technically. So
Yeah.
like, do we get the whole weekend off from the classes?
Yeah, you guys have the whole week. So like, this is our last class before Christmas break, all right? For 3 weeks, you don't even have any classes. Enjoy your Christmas break. I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas break.
And I'm not
We barely
Anika.
even
It's the other
learned it.
person named Anika, and I'm
I
close,
hope
I'm
you
behind
enjoy
you.
your Christmas break.
So Annika, I saw you had your hand up. Do you have any questions?
No, I just forgot to put it down.
Okay. So I think that's it for today. I just introduced the expansionist policy, all right? So we have classes every 2 weeks, all right? If you guys want, I can make it every week.
Actually, no, because they also have English classes, which are practically also on Friday, which
Oh,
means
okay,
that
okay.
like every other day that I don't have social studies, I have English class.
Oh, okay. Then I won't change. Thank you for letting me know.
Wow.
So I hope you guys have a good winter break. I'll see you after winter break, all right?
Bye. What's Star Wars?
Carrie.
My ears are
I don't
dying.
like that song.
I'm Mariah Carey.
Is that supposed to be a Christmas carol? I don't
Got the Mariah Carey.
All right,
That's
so see you
well, that's
next
supposed to be
class.
Christmas carol or
Bye.
something.
We didn't even learn anything.
It's not a carol, but it's just a
This
song.
class was
We learned the
practically-
King Emperor.
Well, we practically
something
just
we
learned
all- something
a
we should
little
all
bit
We
of it.
learn what expansionist is.
Well,
Yes.
we barely
I'm sorry,
learned
I
today.
The
couldn't go over.
Japanese already conquered Korea.
Teacher,
Yeah.
I just wrote
Wait,
all
if you
the stuff.
if you want to know how Japan conquered Korea, you can stay in here and I'll explain it.
I'm staying.
Okay. So
I'm
who else is
I
staying?
guess I'll stay because we didn't almost went anywhere.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not
I'll get
exhausted.
Zoom
No, that
figured
wasn't your
out.
fault. That was everyone else who was just chatting and interrupting.
Yeah.
No, it's
What
technically
was
my fault
wrong?
because I didn't figure out Zoom way earlier, right? So like I'll figure out how Zoom works, okay?
Can you just kick Can you just kick
I
Hi
think
out?
these might
It's
be the
annoying.
things what I have.
Hi,
For
hi,
some
hi,
reason,
sorry.
when Hi Ever
They're
puts
just-
on the carols, I swear it's like that. It's like consequences for not or turning off the chat.
I think so too. I'll
Who
probably
cares?
if he or she, I'm sorry, I can't tell
It's a she.
what gender. Okay. If she doesn't stop this next class, I'm gonna have to kick her.
Can I be co-host?
I thought that I don't know, your boss's brother was the host or something, and you were co-host.
I'm
Or did you
co-host.
become the host?
No, you're host.
I'm
Can
the
I be
host
co-host
entirely.
next time.
Oh, how about that's the other dude? I forgot his name, Riley or something.
Okay, so
I forgot.
so you guys are here
Riley
just
the
to
girl.
for me to explain how Korea was conquered by Japan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So in 1905 to 1906, Japan was at war with China. This was called the First Sino-Japanese War, okay? And as a result of this war, Japan was able to take Korea from China, right? So Korea once belonged to China, but after the First Sino-Japanese War, Japan was now in control of Korea, all right? Which was pretty convenient because they could use Korea to invade China rather than sailing their boats to invade China. So do you guys understand?
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, quick question.
Yeah.
Why did they want China?
Want China?
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
like
I,
they just I know I now understand why they invaded Korea as they didn't get to China. But why do they even want China for their land, or just they want to empower
Their
every single
land
Chinese?
okay, so there are three
It's not
reasons.
a useless question. It's part of this lesson, and
Yeah,
it's
it's not-
sometimes part of the Chinese.
Yeah, you need to understand why they invaded. All right, so please. Who's-
What?
Class is technically over, so I'm pretty sure, I don't know, a little bit. So there are three reasons why Japan wanted China, all right? All right, they wanted an empire, okay? And they wanted an empire so they can be treated as equals by Britain and France, okay? That's reason number A. Reason number B, by the time of the Great Depression, China was a big country, all right? So you understand China is a big country, correct?
Yeah.
So China is a big country, and it can provide lots of living space for the growing population in Japan, because that small tiny nation that you see at the edge of Asia has a population of 100 million. Now that's a lot.
Yeah, I think Chinese have the
Wait,
most
why
amount of
is
people.
China a big country?
I'm not an
This is
expert on
one
Chinese history, but China, I'm not an expert on Chinese history.
I know.
Because China is
Because
somehow
China
a big
claims
country.
that,
Did
I
that's
know.
your
I
answer?
know.
Is
I
that
know.
simple?
Or just
It's
search it up.
because the
Look at the fact
government
that the flag is exactly
encouraging
like that.
Chinese women to start giving birth to kids. So
Yeah,
that's why
probably.
they have
I'm not
a
an
lot.
expert on
I feel
Chinese
like I
history.
don't think that because I think that's what they mean when they say why is the population so much there. I think it's more because of why is there so much land.
Yeah, is that what you meant? Ooh.
I can't really see the last word on the bottom because it's like space kind of.
Oh yeah, it's space.
Space.
Sorry. Apologize. So it provided living space, right? Now, what living space means, all right, Japan has a large.
Sorry for not coming before. I had to go shopping, Christmas shopping, but I'm here now, so sorry.
All right, it's okay. Class is already over. These are the people who are sticking
Oh.
around to know more about Japan.
Why
I'll just stick
why
around,
did
yes.
I have
Ow.
a question.
Yeah. What's
Why
your
would they want to invade China if China has so much people?
True, actually, that's actually a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
question.
okay. So
That's actually a good question. Ooh.
that is a very good question, and I can answer this. So to understand why Japan invaded, okay, so I have to first list. So reason B for Japan's invasion of China was for living space. Japan was a big country, so they thought they could send their growing population to China to live there from now, all right? And reason C was the amount of natural resources in China, because Japan had exhausted all the resources they had, such as coal, iron, and grain. So they went to China to get those resources they need, right? And
I could just
BBB,
buy it.
they can't buy it because they're poor.
That's really too bad.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's because they lost all the resources.
Can't they just say, "Can you have some? I want some. Or
okay.
else I will invade you."
Okay,
No, the
first
thing
let's-
was,
first let's
the
stop.
Japanese, they
That's
can't
mean.
ask the Chinese for help because the tensions between China and Japan were very high, right? They did not like each other. So
Tensions between Korea
to
and
Wait,
Japanese
why
are
do they not
worse.
like each other? Aren't they right beside each other? Shouldn't they be friends?
Neighbors.
No,
Yeah, they're
but
neighbors.
No,
they
just
had
like
a
America
war
and
with each
Canada.
They're
other.
enemies just like USA
No, because they
and
had
Mexico.
war
It's not
with each
always
other.
like that.
yeah,
They
they
had
had
war
war
with
with each
each
other for a
other.
long time, right? Especially
That
after
why
the first
China
Sino-Japanese.
has so much more.
Chinese did not like Japan in their territory. So to answer your initial question, why did Japan invade China even though China had a massive population? No. The Chinese population may be massive and the army can be expected to be very big, even bigger than Japan. But the thing was, organization in the army was incredibly poor. Okay, so do you know what organization means?
What did you say?
So
A
the
group with a
organization of the Chinese
colony is
army was
bigger.
incredibly poor.
I thought
Was China rich or something?
No, China was not rich. It was a really poor country.
It wasn't.
Okay.
They just have a lot of
There's
resources
a
to make
reason why our
some
economy is
stuff.
still better than theirs.
Yeah, they had lots of resources, but the thing was, the Chinese government was incredibly corrupt and ineffective. So they didn't use the resources they have, okay? And it should also be noted that the China you see today, the rich and powerful China you see today, isn't always like that, all right? Before Mao Zedong came to power, China was really poor, all right? And although it has a very large army, the organization in the army was incredibly poor. The commanders, the leaders of these
I
armies,
thought China was
were bad.
Barbie and Ken, how they're so close.
Sorry?
They have similar stuff they do because China has food and Japan has food.
Is it high?
Everybody
What?
has food.
Aren't you
Every
high?
country
Okay,
has
please don't insult.
Hi? Oh, hi.
Okay,
But,
so
like the person was before hi.
okay, so to
Person
answer
who said to
your
the
question,
person cat.
Japan had a very lack of food. Okay.
Said on high, like doing the what do you call it?
Okay, sure.
So the reason why Japan invaded China, even though they have a big army, was their commanders and leaders, all right, were bad. Okay, they didn't do anything.
For robbers?
No,
No,
they're
that's a
not
silly
robbers.
question.
Like the commanders were really bad. Okay, like they can't like command armies properly, right? And even though, like for example, what they basically did was they know full well Japan was coming to the city, yet they didn't do anything. Like that's how bad they were. And also,
Wow.
China was in the middle of a civil war between the communists and the nationalists, which made China really weak, all right, which gave the Japanese the confidence to invade China, though they have a big army, right? So Chinese, okay, so what a civil war was Chinese, all right, and they're not united, all right. It's better to fight an enemy united rather than divided, all right. So you guys heard of the saying, "United we stand, divided they fall." All right, that's what it means. All right, so do you understand why?
No.
No, I don't understand why.
Because together you're bigger. For example, here's just another example, not including a war. If you have one pencil, you can break it pretty easily. If you have a bunch of them, it's very hard. Same thing for an army. If you have a big army versus a smaller army, you are most likely to win.
So why don't they just get along in the first place? They're kind of like Regina and Caddy from the Mean Girls, you know?
Because they have bad history together.
Like you mean
And
the
if they
communists?
could, they would probably smack each other in the face.
Wait, you mean the
If they had
communists and
hands.
Stay on
nationalists?
topic. Let's stay on topic.
Wait, you mean the communists and nationalists who should work together? Because like, okay, you're right. So like, they were in the middle of a civil war, and when Japan invaded, by the time, like, it's true, the communists and nationalists decided to work together when Japan invaded. But by the time they decided that, Japan had conquered huge amounts of land, all right? And when they were united, they were able to halt the Japanese advance, okay? However, they were not able to halt it when Japan entered the then capital Nanking. All right, we will learn about that next class after Christmas break. All right. So do you guys understand why Japan invaded China, even though China had a big army?
Not really.
When will
but
our
I
next
guess so.
meeting be?
I still have to think about that because I don't know which date Christmas break ends. All right, I'll have to double check on that.
Okay.
Obviously, Christmas break is like a whole week.
January 11th.
Tests before Christmas.
Doesn't
break.
it
I'm pretty
like
sure
end on
Christmas is gonna
January
start from
11th?
Saturday.
Isn't Christmas break like 3 weeks?
I have
3 weeks.
I don't
Christmas
think so.
break is like
because I-
2
I-
weeks, I think. Because
I thought
last
it
time I
was
went to
the
school,
most.
it
I thought it
was
was
2
next
days.
week.
I have a question. So
Yeah, what's your question?
is there going to be like a next class?
Yes, there will be a next class after Christmas break. All right, so you
Of
have 3
course,
weeks
there's gonna
off.
be.
We would
Oh,
probably
okay.
have-
we
So
were
our
on
next class
topic
next
probably
year.
be having a
class.
test if there
When
was
are
going
we
to be a
coming
last
back to
class.
class? Are we coming back to class on January 11th?
I think January 11th is a Monday.
Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's when we
Wait.
go back to school.
January 11th. Wait, no, never mind. It's not on my calendar. It's the 2021 calendar.
Wait, so does that answer your question about all your questions about Japan, or do you guys have any other questions? Like, do you
I
understand?
watched a movie about the Chinese Canadian thing. Oh, not Canadian. Chinese war thing.
So we're coming back to class
I
on
think
January
before
15th.
I
Yeah,
think before
most
Korea asked Chinese for help, but then the Chinese said no, and then when the Japanese were about invading China, the China asked the Koreans to help, but they said no because they said no first. Because I think
Actually,
it
technically,
said part of it said part of the history movie,
I don't
right,
think
Mom?
that ever happened.
Did we watch that movie about the history of China, not just in Japanese?
hey, No, okay.
Yeah, my
when,
mom doesn't remember. Oh God.
when Japan invaded China, China did not ask Korea for help because Korea didn't exist.
I thought Korea asked for China help before and after. Then when
Okay.
Japanese finished invading Korea, and then they're still a little
No,
part
Korea
of it.
belonged to China. So Korea wasn't an independent nation. So Korea
Oh,
belonged to China.
but Japanese what? The Japan was?
Yeah, so when the Japanese took
Anyways, I
Korea,
gotta
they
go,
technically took a piece of
Senpai.
China. So does that answer your question? Like,
Yeah,
to
sure.
clarify,
Yes.
like Korea belonged to China, but Japan took it from them. So does that like clarify things? So Korea never existed back then.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you now understand like everything about Japan now, like what they did?
Wait, I have a question. So then what was Korea called back then?
That's a good question. I'll have to look on to that, but I'm pretty sure it was like the province was called like the area was called Korea, all right, but the country didn't exist. Do you understand?
Can you turn your camera on?
My camera?
So what? Can we leave now?
Yeah, you can leave now. You can
You
leave
play
a long
Kahoot?
16 minutes ago. You could leave 60 minutes. These are the people who are wanting to stay to know more about Japan.
No, but we play a Kahoot.
Then happy
A Kahoot
holidays.
shall be next time when we all listen. AKA, if we do this again, you know he's recording this whole thing, right? He could just send it to all your parents or something, and then they'll know.
Oh, my parents know him.
I
If
don't
you're
know.
keeping this away from your parents, you know he could just send it to your parents because it was just being so slow and all that. Like the class is going so slow and everyone was just interrupting and doing.
No, not
major-
everyone was interrupting. People actually wanted to learn. It's just that collective few that are like not paying attention and like bothering everyone. So,
I think some people were trying to get revenge for turning off the chat.
Yeah, they're probably trying to get revenge on me. I convinced, whatever.
Yeah, I'm convinced that they're trying to get revenge
I
on
was
you.
the one who convinced him to turn off the chat in the first place. I was the one who convinced almost
I should
every
stop
teacher
moving
to
my
turn off the
monitor.
chat. Trying to
Right,
get
so-
revenge on me, but it never works. I never take
I
it.
mean, some people did want to have the chat on, but like, I gotta admit, we were doing something ridiculous.
We need to
However,
use chat usefully. Like we have to use it to have questions. To use it
yeah,
for questions
but
or
now
something.
you guys have to ask questions through the mic, right?
I have PTSD. No, I can't.
All right, so does that answer your questions about Japan? Like I'm about to end this tutorial time.
Okay.
One question.
Yes, what's your question?
Why is your Bright Youth Journey sign has a sun on top of it?
That's why it's called Bright. It just be Youth Journey.
Yeah, so like our job is to teach the youth about like my
have
job
a bright
technically.
future. This
so
leads to
my-
a bright future.
Technically, your job there,
We're
lots of
we're
instructors
taught,
and
but
some
like,
of them don't
there's
even
one part we were talking about pre-algebra. Some of us is like too young to even know about those. Like
No,
those grade
welcome
1
to
to 2, they won't even know who pre-algebra is.
Hey, do you know that in China they learn much faster than Canadians? Like for example, in grade 1 or something, they already learn multiplication, and then in grade
Oh
five-
yeah, that's what
I
my
know,
mom
and
told
then I
me.
did
It's
grade 3
extremely
and
true.
I did grade 3 and it's 27 times 29 like that.
No, in grade 3.